I'm and nome is Gregorio G. Enriquez for short, and most often my friends call me just Greg. I finished college with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering, and as I graduated, looked for a job, and one of the most menial job that I've ever experienced, because being an engineer, you have to undergo such kind of apprentice training, and luckily, but in the beginning, when looking for the job, nobody accepts me. Maybe I'm just too young, non-experienced, and usually companies, big one, prefer those with experience because they can have advanced asset on you instead of you teaching you all the time as an apprentice. It so happened that the line that I have experienced is my favorite subject in mechanical engineering, which is aircon, residential, commercial, and industrial. So on the startup, I started with the smallest kind of business, which is air conditioning, refrigeration, repair, maintenance. Then graduated from there. So hard work, it's all manual. I venture into the sales and marketing of air conditioning. Luckily, in just 3 years, I got succeeded and earned so much to finance myself already for a better and bigger aspects, which I didn't expect, because as usual, mechanical engineers are all starting on the hardest part of the vocation. You're there in the kitchen, in the garage, looking at things that are to be repaired. So, given the experiences already in industrial air conditioning, so happened that the industry along the line, which are the major pharmaceutical, food making, semicon was just starting to be a part of the Philippine industries, and now one of the biggest export is semicon, because of the Filipino talents for anything, whether singing, engineering, inventions, discovery, toying around with new gadgets, fuels, and so forth and so on. This is our conference room where we meet clients to make a bit of presentation about what it can do for the industry. Our company, being represented, one of the biggest in Europe, is in the preservation also. So this is our mountain house. The reason why I'm also trying to preserve is we have used this for the last 50 years when the children are so small yet. For me to be able to remember the nice things in our life, not only business, that we have had experience with the children when they were young. I have only 4, 2 girls and 2 boys. So happened that they are well educated in the best school here in Manila. This is my granddaughter. This is the granddaughter, and this is her now, 26-year-old, when she was just 8 to 10. CC ramp and passion model. Passion model in Australia, 5.6. Oh, very pretty. That's what I just would want to brag on, huh? And a lawyer, an economist at the same time. So one time, when we are experiencing one of the most difficult times, where there was a change of government from democratic into a dictatorial, so everybody was surprised, and we're not used to an authoritarian government. But in the beginning, as the dictator started their administration, there was so much in what they call the control of people. Curfew is one for all, so you're allowed only to go out not more than past 8 or 9 in the evening. So with all these experiences, and very most difficult is when the administration started, since there was not much work because of the fear of the new kind of government, which is semi-military. Most of the companies that I depend on, 11 of which all got out of the country and moved somewhere else, leaving me alone on the line. So as usual, when you're left, there are still small works. Otherwise, it will be completely paralyzed, the industries. So we do on repairing and so forth and so on. That I was able to gather small and big companies, industries, using air conditioning for their manufacturing process. One is pharmaceutical, food industry, semicon, and luckily, at the time that I was so concentrated and interested to increase my experiences in the industry, one time a Swedish guy who is interested putting up a company here in the country where its technology is in support to manufacturing processes of pharmaceutical products, which is drying, or a more technical term, dehumidification, taking out of moisture on the production rooms, such that when the product is done or finished, it is already dry, and before they encapsulate into a packaging, it must be well dried 24 hours a day, so that when it is fully encapsulated, it is supposed to be free of air. Air, if most of us knew, is just plain air, and we do not know that there is a moisture content and dirt content inside it, which the company in Sweden would want to take out, so that we'll have a better product that once it is treated under dehumidification and pollution dirt control, the product is sure that it will last longer. And not only the time that it will last longer, but the efficacy of a medicine or a pills on a human being can be achieved. So that was the main purpose of the proper environmental control, using dehumidification setup. in electric vehicles, spacecraft, is dehumidification is one of the requirements, so that the spacecraft will reach its destination without exploding. Because at a certain height level of the atmosphere, it's very cold. When it is very cold, that's where condensation starts. And when there is water, it gets into the circuit. And since water is a good conductor of electricity, it will short circuit. And we have seen shuttle or spacecraft exploding in the midair because of such kind of occurrences. This company at the beginning just wrote me a letter when I was so down that almost I would want to seek work in America. Being a mechanical engineer, I might have good chances of getting employed. That's how down in my thinking I was in this challenge. Luckily, I have accepted their offer, though it has lots of reservation. My remarks and comments to them: it was a good equipment and product, but at this age and time that we are experiencing martial law, movement of people are limited. Companies that we're supposed to target to have business are all gone out. So anyhow, with this background, I didn't realize that an executive of that company was reading already my letters. And in that letters, I understand from him that I was just so very straightforward and sincere in my thoughts. So it reached the chairman and the president of that biggest company in Sweden. So when that guy read about my little qualification and resume and this style of how I communicated in letter, so straightforward and honest, telling them the truth of what I've been undergoing, he was so impressed. So I instructed the vice president, I want this man be with us as soon as you can. This Swedish company is named Munters. And Munters is a family name of that guy who started to work like me, as in the garage, fixing equipment. He was just a plain and simple technician. But this company had experienced growth to the point that they were the big dehumidification company, moisture humidity control in the whole world. NASA is one of their clients, and NASA is very stringent in the requirements when using a kind of machines like that. So happened that I had this building built in 20 years ago, and it's very prophetic. Imagine 20 years ago, I had already the thoughts of having it extended for another 3 to 4 floors, and now it is paying off because the subway is passing exactly opposite our building entrance, and it's just a few walks across the street when the subway will be open, going to BGC, Makati, Ortigas, to the airports, the 3 airports. This is the very old family pictures in the 30s, 40s. But the members of the grandchildren here are beginning to decay also. in a short time, they'll all be gone. But anyhow, it is important that I have recorded some of the memorable and nicest things as a remembrance. As I was telling you earlier, my dad and mom at the time was able to provide us a good residing home somewhere going to Manila, about 10 kilometers from here. It was a home that to me, as I grew up, I find it very, very, very well designed in terms of lines. The what they call the architecture, the interior and the exterior. But at this point in time, naturally, it was not the kind of the house. But during those times, it was one of the preferred. They call it neo-colonial architecture. Means new, and colonial was the colony in power, which is Spanish, which we were under Spanish for about 300 years and American for 100 years. So that's where I was born. And I knew at the time there was not much electricity yet because all of our streets around there were so dark. So me having a what you call a tinkering hand, one time I saw our electric watch got problem. It was not operating. So what I did at the age of 8, dismantled the and got the machine, the main part of the electric. So I tested it in an electric current supply, and it worked. So imagine at those time I had already the thinking of inventing an electric fan because there was no electric fan yet in those years, and industry was not that so developed. Maybe in the first world country they have already, but in Asia there was none. We use only the manual fan. So that's one of my accomplishments. And almost 3 or 5 of my nieces and nephews, when they were delivered at a hospital, they were the only ones who has the electric fan made by me. So that's one of the accomplishments that I can brag on. Manila was once by some of my co-workers in the ASEAN said they were considering us a foreigner, a European. Those times, what the foreigners, the European and the Americans, we have also the MRT, tram. Imagine in 1928 or 30, what the Americans and the European have, we have also in a smaller scale. We have the train system going around Metro Manila up to San Mateo, Montalban, San Juan as our commuter train when there was not much jeepney being used. Two, there are 2 very famous architects in Europe. Well, you've heard of a Frenchman named Eiffel, who designed and made Eiffel Tower. He has a counter equipment or structure here in the Philippines which he built. Once is a bridge in what you call the Jones Bridge. From the Intramuros side, crossing the Pasig River to Quiapo. And he made that as an architect. The second one is one of the rarest kind of church, which is made all of steel. And this steel structure were all fabricated in Liège, Belgium. And it so happened that biggest company in the steel industry happened to have appointed me as the sole agent here in the country. So it was so very timely that such kind of accomplishment that I can brag on was being built by my counterpart, which is Cockrell Steel Manufacturing Company, the biggest steel company in Europe at the time. This is Jesus Christ. I think it was painted by, who's that famous painter in Italy? Then this was painted by my wife. This is our vacation house in Baguio. This is our house in California, also painted by my wife. Well, this is one of the rooms. One of the rooms for our guests. Look what happened when you let the dog enter. My wife and I used to be here when we were there at the old house. But 10 years after, as usual, she got fed up. It's because when we transferred here, it was her who pushed me to putting up a small room so that she will not anymore have this, what you call this, maintenance of the house. It will be smaller. But after a while, she transferred back there, had all the CR taken out and replaced by new ones. Oh, she painted this also. She has the, she has the talent, though it's amateur. Look at this. You see how nice what it depicts, huh? A small child watering the plants. Okay, this is the original of what I drew. When this was once about to be finished, I yearned to look back at the memories of my past. So I went to an artist in Mabini and waited so long that I got so, what you call this, asarna, piece of that. I asked one of the guys there to give me a paper, even a scratch paper of brown paper. So I started drawing it up while waiting. Now look at our elevator. You can see this small detail of a nice ironworks, huh? You look how nice. It is equally nice when you see my very loyal dog who stayed here for the last 12 years. Metro Manila at the beginning was the nicest in the whole ASEAN region because it has the equivalent of the development in New York, which is Manhattan. In Europe, you have UK, you have the French, and so forth and so on. That was my memories, and of course the old Chinatown. The oldest Chinatown in the whole world is the Philippine Chinatown. You see how can one forget a kind of facilities like that with Binondo Church as the center. 600 years ago, imagine, when America was not inexistent yet. So the thing that influenced the bad development is the overcrowding of population. is because Manila was expected to be the center and the provider of jobs. So provincial folks went to Manila and established their own kind of living, which is what they call not so good houses. It's made by themselves, that it mushroomed into several. Then because of the many people, naturally transportation will try to complement using jeepneys and using taxis and cars at the time. But little by little, it is developing into a brighter cities. Because of the Manila Bay, it can afford to accept reclamation, big reclamations of what they call, that will come out later on in 3 or 5 years from now, the satellite cities, wherein it can absorb people. Then the main thoroughfares will be lessened in terms of traffic problems and housing. So this is what I can see. In the better part of it, although a little late, but it's starting. It will be a kind of new development that will provide Metro Manila one of the nicest in the whole world when these things are all. It will be equipped with what you call now that the first word they're using, which is AI, artificial intelligence. Will have a kind of transportation on the island, which is taxi, water taxi. So it's nicer. It's like the gondola from Paris. No, from Italy. So you'll have a kind of transportation like that on a boat, where it will be used mostly. Well, as usual, those that have been forgotten in the past of park and trees will all be reinstalled and reinstated in the new city development of Metro Manila. Well, at this time, some foreigners are amazed of what Metro Manila has accomplished. The malls in here are bigger than any malls all over the world. One is MOA, which is considered to them so nice to shop and buy the things. Now we have also the newest city center, which is BGC, and foreigners love to stay there nowadays, just because it can equal many other developments all over the world that thing can provide. And that's why there are so many foreigners who would want to stay in Manila and its provincial and beaches and isles, which were adjudged by the European magazine is one of the best in the whole world. And Philippines is composed of 7,000 islands that it is separated from one another by the ocean. Shorter distance you can reach. That means it can be traveled. But however, in the earlier times, seeing that problem, one president built what you call the Roro, whereby it starts from Manila by bus, then from Batangas it will be transported by boat to another island, then another island, and so forth and so on, until you reach the Mindanao, the south, and the north, Cagayan Valley or Ilocos to the north. Look at this wood. This came from the old house, this wood. This is now Metro Manila, the 180 degrees side. That's the subway station. In there is Green Hills. Mandaluyong. EDSA is there. That building is what you call C5. You'll see the thoughts of the man behind. Small things like that. I have my fruit trees here. Look at what I bought. 6 months ago, they were just a very small, but now they became big. I had this calamansi for the last 10-15 years. Everyone gets and bring it home for juices. I have done them a water impounding, which I planned to throw them there in the water, because last summer was always very hot. Or maybe he can recognize his boss. So I've seen Manila during my early days was a kind of Europe and American. It was very clear to me how nice Manila was. In those times, the architect built a boulevard, which is now called Ross Boulevard, on the Manila Bay. But the Manila Boulevards is better appreciated is because of its Sunset Boulevard, the nicest sunset that you'll ever see in the afternoon, overlooking a wide span of bay going out of the open sea. So, what else? Restaurants, they have also restaurant, but there was no fast food yet at the time. And those are the places that I remember so well.